If you've got to make two choices and they're both bad and you try and choose the least of the bad choice, well, if you do that too many times, eventually 3 or 4 kind of bad choices are going to equal a really big problem, and that's what happened to these guys.
I don't think there'll ever have been a gunfight in any movie ever that is like the firefight in Lone Survivor.
It took a lot of time, a lot of planning to just figure out how to make it safe and how to make it look vicious.
I know Pete was worried about me being there for certain scenes and everything. I mean, you got to think, I wouldn't do this in real life. All you're doing is acting something out that I see in my head every day. So you think that's going to affect me? No, it's not. I mean, I don't know where everybody was coming from on that. Like, oh, you don't need to see this. I mean, what do you mean I don't need to see this? I see it every day.
We're falling back! You mean fall off? Yeah! Fuck! Axe!
Tom Duffield spent months climbing all over the mountains around Albuquerque and Santa Fe to put together this incredible jigsaw puzzle of locations to capture the different stages of the battle and put them all together in a way that made sense geographically and looked seamless. And in the beginning, we would all stand somewhere and say, trees, rock, a cliff, and be utterly confused. And Tom was really our guide through all of that.
Basically, it's just research, and pulled it all together. And it's a good thing I did, because when I got here, it was all location scouting.
You take a crew from Los Angeles, you bring them up to top of Ski Santa Fe at 13,000 feet and 20 degrees, and you start seeing what it takes to make a team.
Every day, people would take chairlifts up the mountain, which is slow going and cold. And people would kind of camp out up on the top for an entire day of shooting.
This is not a wimpy crew by any means. Day one was a very difficult day, you know, and it set the tone.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Emil.
When we were trudging through Santa Fe, shooting mountain locations, and it's like 14,000 feet. That became a challenge in itself, the actual shooting of it.
All right, everybody, picture will be up. Picture's up. The gunfire's what's driving them back. So for all these kind of hits in here, how would you do all those hits?
We just lay in core close. This is actually a good spot because there's crevices and crannies. And we just run our main trunk line. We branch off all our little squibs off to the side. And in between, we shoot it with dust capsules.
Eye protection, ear protection. Everybody set? Ear. Action. 3, 2, 1. RPG! Lower.
I love the balance of the drama, the action, the humor, the emotion. And making the movie just felt so damn good about all of it, even when you're getting the shit kicked out of you. It felt real and it felt powerful.
Okay, super slow-mo, half speed.
Yes.
You're moving to the back, everyone. Back. Bang, 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 bang. Stay there.
He's up, he sees me, he's down right there for a split second.
Fall back, guys. Falling back.
This is Axelson, that's the
I don't want him to.
I said, you know, to everyone, I'm like, don't make it up. Go to our consultants, Marcus Luttrell and Navy SEALs. Use them. They've got all the answers. Take advantage of that.
The big push that we just did will be happening when these guys realize they're starting to take fire from up high.
Marcus Luttrell called us up and asked us if we'd be willing to train the actors to get them ready for this film. We're here only so that these gentlemen portray our fallen brothers well on camera. That's it.
By the way, feel free anytime. After every take, just go. You don't have to run it by me. Just tell them.
Kevin Scott, who is our second unit director and stunt coordinator, did an incredible job choreographing and executing these falls that you see that I think will be one of the standout moments of the film. No wires, no visual effects. It's just jump off the side of a mountain and don't break your neck.
I mean, you got to think, I asked Pete how you were going to portray the fall and the fight and everything like that, because in real life, all guys died. So are you going to kill all your actors and stuntmen? No, you're not. So it's not going to be as violent as it was in real life. And that's saying a lot for a movie.
I had a lot of meetings with Kevin Scott and talked about how we could make it more intense and, you know, not kill anybody and not hurt anybody. And it took a lot of time, a lot of planning. Some of the toughest stuntmen I've ever met in my life, who, you know, figured out how you can do pieces of a fall.
I think we achieved some pretty amazing, bone-jarring, impactful, emotional, I can't watch moments that the audience is gonna look at and believe, which was really important.
Everybody listen up.
Hey guys, listen up, please.
So, as we talked about the other day on Cliff 2, one thing I want you guys to keep in your mind at all times is paying respect to the SEAL. We're actually doing a fall here. It's about a 30-foot fall into boxes where our stunt doubles are going to take off and basically just bounce off the side of the rock. We are doing JJ, which is Murphy double and axe double at the same time.
And our crew is fucking insane. Really, man.
Good?
I saw guys fall down like off these boulders, get right back up, and they're just back doing their thing.
And then we're doing Latrell separate. Sean, not real smart but a great stunt guy, has decided to go off backwards.
Action!
Sean, you good? Good.
Yeah. All right?
It's a camaraderie fall, you know, it's a whole different ballgame than the usual stunt thing.
We were sitting on the set yesterday, and we were watching the scene where stunt doubles were falling off the rock, and I just looked at him, and he told me, he said, yeah, that's pretty much how it went down.
I'd finished the body of tumbles, you know, and Pete's like, we got to get the actors in there. So I sat down with him and said, I need you guys tumbling down, you know, the mountain. And they went for it. And they went for it in an incredible way.
And 3, 2, 1, action!
So we've got a device here set up by our stunt crew to allow me to rocket down this hill as fast as the actors can go down the hill. And the way that we're doing it is just a very simple low-tech sled. It's a piece of plywood with a sheet of Lexan on the bottom, and we got this very attractive snow shovel that keeps me from digging into the dirt as I go.
It was my goal to kind of, you know, try and put the audience in there as sort of the fifth man.
Those are epic pieces of stunt work, and we're very grateful to all of the stuntmen and the actors, and then Kevin for giving us that in the movie. I mean, you hear gasps in the audience when those sequences happen.
In real life, every fall we took, somebody broke something or they got shot. And hats off to those stuntmen and the guys who pulled that off.
It was one of the craziest gunfights ever that these guys went through. And what they went through is a challenge that is just unimaginable, but it's fully represented in the movie.
We challenged ourselves on this movie to do the right thing to honor these soldiers in the best way we can. And Pete was like, whatever it takes, I don't want to hear anything from anybody, we're gonna go do this.
Remember early on as an actor, you know, you work a really long, hard day, but you did something you felt like was special. And that car ride home, just you couldn't stop thinking about it, you know? And it was a long period of time where I didn't have those days anymore, you know? And I had that pretty much every day in this movie.
90% of the direction and 90% of the work was before the cameras even started rolling. Was in the training.
The training was intense. I mean, by the time you finished, you felt like you'd shot a big portion of the movie, but we'd never rolled camera.
They say in the SEALs, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So they're very smooth. They don't rush. They take their time. They're thoughtful. We felt in order to get the actors up to speed and to be able to move with that kind of smoothness, they needed to practice. I've never been involved in a film where the actors felt such a strong sense of responsibility to honor the fallen characters that they were playing.
The actors instantly understood the seriousness of what they were being asked to do, and they took that with them through their training.
We brought in, the Navy SEALs to handle these weapons, teach them how to hold them, how to load them, how to shoot them.
Well, it started basically with just fundamentals on the rifle, how to work the rifle and what was what and this, that, and the other. Then we went to mag changes and mag drills and then moving and shooting and then verbiage and calling and everything like that.
Establish a prone position. Cover! Cover! Forward!
They had a lot to learn. I mean, they really did.
Firing line. It's hot.
Pull that back, and then this hand slides right back off that 203 and locks this back.
This is a 203?
Yeah, we'll get into that later.
Okay.
It's a grenade launcher. In our world, if I'm changing a magazine out of my rifle, that's just second nature. That's muscle memory. And if you don't look like you know what you're doing on film, it's a discredit to Axe and all those guys.
And you're trying to assimilate as much as you can, as fast as you can. It was a blessing to have these guys, and just, there's something to these SEALs that is different from any other part of the military. And you want to encompass that and really just try and envelop yourself with these guys.
Shit, I was ready to give up. And we're just doing 12-hour days and make pretend. There's a couple days I wanted to give up. But, you realize, you remind yourself of what they've been through and what, certainly what Marcus and Axe and Murphy and Dietz and everybody else who was on those helicopters. And the guys before him and the guys after him. And you gotta suck it up. You gotta go out there and make them proud.
Live fire the first 3 days, that was no joke. You have to know this shit inside out and then some.
Hit.
We went through thousands and thousands of bullets.
I know that if I'm handed that, without a doubt, 300 yards is no problem. Just ping, 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 ping. And knowing that, it serves you in a film. Knowing that you can do the thing, it takes the pressure off. It's handled.
I know we're hard on them and we're pushing them and stuff like that. And then once we get up into the mountains, I'm sure it's going to be a lot worse.
Yeah, for this, we're just trying to get them used to working and moving as a team and getting their hand signals down and just getting used to being out here and being quiet and sneaky. We want their reactions to look good, too, as well. See how they deal with problems. Yeah, we have a little surprise for them out here.
They're working on the movement once they're under fire and how they're getting, either aggressing through the target or how they're, trying to get away and get out of there and break contact using firepower and cover. And my guys as the role players, they're adding realism to that. They're giving them something to look at. With their wardrobe and their dress and everything else, it adds realism to it. It definitely ramps up the intensity once these guys start getting someone shooting back at them.
And they took out the live fire and they put in simunitions, which is like the closest non-lethal thing you can fire at someone. It's not a paintball, it's actually like a little plastic thing, but it goes far.
Those guys are getting better. They're starting to take us down right when we're getting at them.
I was a big advocate of the training, and it really helped, really did. That trust, that's a big thing, especially when you're in the fight. You just have to trust because these guys, are your brothers.
You don't gain the advantage by working individually. You gain the strength by working as a team. You know, it brings me to a point that Rudyard Kipling said so well. It is the wolf that makes the pack, and the pack that makes the wolf.
They've just come together. They're learning a whole lot of stuff. They're basically getting fed information with a fire hose, and they don't know each other well enough to, you know, I can look at a guy out there that I've worked with for a long time in the dark, and by the way he carries his gear and his silhouette, I know who that is, and I know what movie he's going to make. We need to get them to that point.
There's an attitude. You can do whatever it is you put your mind to. You just got to figure it out. And if you can't figure it out, you know your brother will.
And then anybody cut any corners and nobody was trying to pull any Hollywood shit. You know, we were there, we were present.
I mean, we put them through the ringer, man. We beat them hard. And they came together as a team. You could see it. You could watch them while we were putting them through this training, that they just started to come together, man. And then they were just tactically sound, the way they were moving and shooting and communicating and everything. It was just a good job, man.